That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
All right, Chris, I'm hydrating so I don't cramp up in the middle of this.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, guys, Saturday's games, both walk-off field goals to win the game. Both one seeds lose. Sunday, 27-3, I think it's over. Tom Brady does his thing. Rams tried to give it away, and then a walk-off overtime win by the Chiefs. This was the greatest weekend of football of all time.
Absolutely. I told you that in the this stat will tell it alone. This is my crack friends at the NFL Network research. All 4 divisional round games won with no time remaining in regulation or in overtime. In the history of the NFL postseason, there's never been 4 such games throughout an entire playoff season. Wild card, divisional, championship, Super Bowl. You take every single version of those in the playoffs. There weren't even 4 such games throughout the entirety of the postseason, and we saw it all on one weekend. And again, I don't remember the last time a divisional playoff weekend finished up where each of the winners could make an argument that they can win the Super Bowl, that they can absolutely win the next 2 games. Okay? All 4 can do that, and all 4 losers, or non-winners, if you will, of these playoff games could fire somebody or no longer bring somebody back in an important job on the field and be totally understandable to do so. Not an overreaction at all. What's next?
Tom Brady, Bucs quarterback. You guys heard of him?
Yes.
He's 44 years old. He won 13 games this year, the first time in 5 years. Led the league in completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns. He was the least sacked quarterback in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Lost on Sunday. Tom Brady has played his final football game.
I think that's an overreaction. I think he's going to sit there and he's going to realize that, you know what? I don't want to go out with my last play being a handoff to Leonard Fournette. I don't want to do that in a loss. Just don't want it. That he has an opportunity to do it one more time. He's got the group. He's got the setup. He's got maybe the support of his family. But it really does depend on, like, I will tell you this. Anytime my wife or my kids say, hey, how about this? And I'm thinking, no shot, because I've got work, I've got this, I've got that. It totally changes my mindset. Totally does. If his daughter says, Daddy, I'd love to have you a little bit more, then I think that might be a wrap. I'm serious.
You know, Rich, not to interrupt, but Chris Carter was on Good Morning Football this morning and talked about that. And
Yes.
what Chris Carter said was, guys don't really retire to spend time with their family. He goes, they say it, they give you the sound bite.
Yeah.
But in reality, they want to keep playing until physically they can't do it anymore. But I just found it interesting that he said that. He goes, they'll tell you that, but guys
Well, I'm not
don't.
saying that he wants to do it to spend more time with his family, because obviously he has so many business endeavors that he can maybe even make more money doing that than play football. That's for sure. I'm just saying that if his daughter says to him, Daddy, I don't want you to do it anymore, then that might be a wrap. I don't know if she would, but I'm just saying.
Giselle wanted him to be done playing years ago.
I will essentially do whatever my daughter asks, and unfortunately, she knows it. What else over there, Chris?
All right, here's a zag on this one. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the Packers quarterback in 2022. Best situation to win. Still in a contract. Still making a boatload of money. They franchise tagged Devontae Adams, so he'll be back. You got the running backs. Defense is good. Held the Niners to
He waited 3 years. Jordan Love can wait 3 years.
Yeah, why not?
I don't think that's an overreaction at all. I think the prevailing wind is that they think he has finished there in Green Bay, and it takes 2 to tango, man. It takes 2 to tango.
Maybe the 1 seed
They
again.
they did put a lot on the credit card for being accused of not drafting for the now.
Right.
They did put a ton on the credit card, and now that bill might be due, and the question is what do you do? So I will say that's not an overreaction, even though that's a zig to everyone else's zag right now, or is that a zag to everyone else's zig? Or
just throwing it out there.
It's entire. I am not a capologist. I don't play one on TV. Andrew Brandt is on tomorrow's show and might be able to know a little bit more of the inner workings of all of this. But he'd have to get Devontae Adams back, and he'd have to make sure that defense stays remotely intact. So, what else, Christopher?
All right, the king of swag resides in the Queen City. That's Cincinnati, folks. Joe Burrow will be the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl from the last 4 draft classes.
Give me some names.
That's 2018 and on. That's Lamar Jackson. That's Josh Allen. That's Kyler Murray. That's
Baker
Sam. Mayfield. That's Sam Darnold. That's
Davis Mills.
That's Justin Herbert. That's
Okay.
Tua. That's Mac Jones. That's Trevor. Whatever.
That's a good one.
Joe Burrow will be the first quarterback.
I'll say that's not an overreaction.
He's one of the last 4 left.
He's got the best chance.
I know he's 2 wins away from you being right, and that's a tall order, Cotton, for this this AFC Championship game. But I won't put it past him, no doubt. And the Bengals have gotten good really fast.
Really fast.
Yes, sir.
Really, like whoa fast.
Like shoring up the offensive line a little bit more, and they're good to go fast.
Like all your draft picks on linemen next year, and let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's a buy. I'll buy that. What else?
All right. Jimmy G's playing again this week. He's like Jason, he's not going to die. The 49ers made a mistake trading up to draft Trey Lance.
No,
I mean, come on.
no.
Like, let's be honest.
No. Overreaction.
What are you crazy?
Overreaction.
That's, I mean.
What are you crazy?
No.
All right, I'm looking forward to your reasoning on this.
Because we haven't seen Trey Lance play yet.
But we've seen Jimmy, and he's in the Final Four again.
Yeah,
he could go to another Super Bowl in 3 years, 2 and 3 years.
Gents, once upon a time, we were all wondering why draft Patrick Mahomes and move up to go get him when you got Alex Smith. And
I don't think we ever thought.
No. No. Look it up, Chris. I know you've got this thing. If you want to do this, TJ, what was the Chiefs' record the year that they sat Smith in Week 17 to give Mahomes a little start?
That was
wet
2017.
What was their record going into Week 17 of that 2017 season? And I know that Alex Smith didn't take the Chiefs as far as what Jimmy G is taking the 49ers writ large. It's not just Jimmy G, as we know. No offensive touchdowns in the win in Green Bay, but do what you got to do.
So they were 9-6.
They were 9-6. They already had a playoff berth wrapped up,
right.
But they ended up beating the Broncos.
I need to see what Trey Lance looks like first. Okay? And if Lance starts winning games because he sat for that year, let's just say, because we laughed, like almost practically laughed at Matt Nagy saying that he was going to go do the Justin Fields Mahomes plan with Justin Fields. Remember that? He came in May after the draft, and he's like, yeah, I don't plan on playing him all year long. And I'm like, I don't know if you're going to have the luxury of doing that. The Niners have actually pulled that off. Let's see what Lance looks like before we go here. Overreaction. That's why I'm saying it right now.
All right.
What else,
All
Chris?
right. Next up. Super Bowl's at SoFi, right? Super Bowl's
Up
at SoFi.
the road from here, yes.
The Rams are going to be the second straight home team to win the Super Bowl.
Not an overreaction. And you know what? They actually have done the Bucs one better, because the Bucs had a win on the road to make it a home Super Bowl. And the Rams are at home to make it a home Super Bowl, which, by the way, the Vikings didn't have that opportunity. That Minnesota Miracle put them in Philadelphia. And I am pouring one out right now for all of my colleagues at the events department in the National Football League home office. Having a championship game in the spot of the Super Bowl 2 weeks before is what we will call a logistical conundrum.
Oh, yes.
This is a Rubik's Cube that there are a lot of people trying to solve right now. Because right now they would normally want to go in and start prepping for the big game. And there's another game right now. And it is so big. This game here in Los Angeles is so huge and so unexpectedly big for the Los Angeles Rams that both Brockman and Del Tufo are going to sell their
No, I'm
tickets. Yes, you are.
I'm going to work the game probably.
You're
So
both selling your tickets. You're
working.
working the game, which means you're going to sell your tickets.
I may give them to somebody. Maybe.
Oh, really? Because I could use 2 for one of my poker buddies who doesn't want to pay anything over cost. So
$2,500 a ticket.
See, I'm just telling you, it's so big. These guys are going to sell their tickets.
No comment.
I want to go.
Yeah, suddenly you want to move off the.
No
You got
comment.
one
Let's
more
move
over
on.
there,
I got
Chris?
two. I got two more. I got two more.
Plead the fifth.
I got 2 more. Cooper Kupp. I mean, he's the best offensive player in football. This guy's unstoppable.
I have another.
How do you
stat
let
here.
him get deep on you twice?
He's joined Steve Smith and Jerry Rice as the members of the Triple Crown regular season club to make a championship game. So there's that.
It's 3rd and 20, and he gets behind you for a
I don't know how that
70-yard
happened.
touchdown. The whole game shifted on
It
that
was nuts.
play.
How did Mike Evans get behind Jalen Ramsey too?
That was so casual. Like, Cooper Kupp is out of this world.
No,
man.
I mean he's offensive player of the year in my mind. Period. Him and Debo being on the same field in the NFC Championship game, although not at the same time. I don't think Debo's going to play both ways. But
Will that surprise you though?
Yeah,
I know, right?
good.
You got one more?
Last one. Titans can't win a championship with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that's not an overreaction, I would have to say.
know what I mean?
I think that's a fair assessment. It's entirely possible he could pull a Gannon or Brad Johnson or
Yes, but
no, again, and he does have the two-way ability like Allen and Mahomes. He can beat you with his legs, he can beat you with his arms, but he just
a big mistake comes at the worst time.
I don't know what to say. If I'm the Titans, I did see that game against each other with Allen and Mahomes and say we gotta upgrade here, because if we get to one of those or anything close to one of those, we could take care of business.
Sean Watson?
I don't know, but that was a tough one for the Titans to see with Ryan Tannehill. They might not go in a different direction. They might think this is an overreaction, but right now I'll buy that one right now.
Hey, Chris, you said with the Niners, that picking Lance, if they would have stayed at number 12, you know who went 12th in the draft? Micah Parsons. So the Niners could have
Hour
Micah
3
Parsons.
coming up. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, still
So
on Peacock.
now do you think they regret it a little bit more, if knowing that they could have had him instead of moving up to get Trey Lance?
Guys, let's see what Lance looks like before we start saying it's not worth it.
Does Lance start week 1 next year?
I think so.
You do?
I do.
Even if the Niners win the Super Bowl?
If the what did I say last week? In, by the way, so far being right, or giving the possibility of it happening. Now we're one of the 3 wins necessary away for the Niners to have one of the most incredible runs that they could even conjure up to win it all, after the decision that they made in the offseason to trade up to go get a guy that they're hardly using right now, or they're not using at all right now. They hardly used all year, and eliminate the Rams now in their home, to stay there in their home and win the Super Bowl in their home, and come back forevermore for big divisional battles and say, yeah, this is big, no doubt, currently in the current structure. But once upon a time, this was our house. You say Rams house, whose house? Rams house. It's really our house. Like, it literally, like, this is possible for them. And in order for that to happen, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo will be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. What better way to replenish the picks to give up than send him somewhere else?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell to the fan base.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk to them.
You got a kid, you have no idea if he's good or not. 0.
I think they
Hasn't
have an
played
idea.
football in 2 years.
Got it.
No,
Understood.
we know what Kyle Shanahan thinks of Trey Lance, because he hasn't played
Got it.
since like week 5.
Understood.
We know what he thinks about him.
Let's see how he looks, and you're going to get a chance to see how he looks before we talk about all this.
Ooh.
Micah Parsons or not, there's a whole host of people that they could have had instead of Trey Lance. Totally get it. Got it. And they would be helping out right now.
Yeah.
They need to do
And
it.
all year long, too.
They need to do what the Pats did. Admit that it was a mistake and trade him.
Got it.
He's
Received. Message heard.
29.
Message heard.
Maybe take the L.
Or
This
you
is-
just got shown up by the host.
This is going to be worse than your honest take.
Worse than my honest take.
No,
Okay.
nothing's
Okay.
going to be worse.
Okay.
No,
Let's
stop.
put a
No.
pin
It's
in
going to be
this.
as bad, man. It's going to be as bad.
No.
Got it. Got it.
Giannis, bro.
as bad.
Giannis.
Noted. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.